You gave up sugar to protect heart attack, are using it as a replacement, quietly triggering blood clots, heart attack, or even stroke. A new study has experts sounding the alarm. It suggests that erythritol, a popular sugar substitute, might not be as harmless as we once believed. These days, more and more people are switching to products with no sugar. Fewer calories or labels claiming to be heart healthy. They hope to prevent heart disease, lower the risk of diabetes, and manage their blood sugar better. One of the most common ingredients in these so-called healthier choices is erythritol. It's often promoted as natural, safe, and said to have no impact on blood sugar levels. However, a major study recently published in Nature Medicine has caused serious concern. Researchers found that higher levels of erythritol in the blood are linked to a greater risk of severe outcomes. These include heart attack, stroke, and even sudden death. So now we have to ask the tricky question: is this sweetener we've trusted for years putting us at risk? In today's video, we'll go over 5 key facts about erythritol. To help you understand the science, consider the risks, and make the best decision for your heart health. We'll also break down how it may relate to heart attack symptoms, possible causes of heart attack, and why recognizing the early signs of heart attack matters more than ever. Truth number 1. Erythritol doesn't just come from food. Erythritol is a type of sugar substitute that belongs to the sugar-alcohol group. You'll find it in products with no sugar or fewer calories like candy baked goods, keto ice cream, sports drinks, and sweeteners made from stevia or monk fruit. With a taste similar to real sugar, minimal impact on blood sugar, and no effect on tooth decay, erythritol has become a popular choice in products aimed at heart health and weight loss. But here's what most people don't know. Erythritol doesn't just come from what we eat. Our bodies naturally produce it during the process of breaking down glucose. People with higher levels of visceral fat type 2 diabetes, fatty liver disease, or metabolic syndrome tend to produce even more erythritol. That's because these conditions are linked to oxidative stress, which ramps up its production inside the body. This raises a critical question. When researchers find high levels of erythritol in the blood of people who suffered a heart attack or stroke, is it because they consumed too much erythritol, or because their bodies produced it due to underlying health issues? A 2023 study published in Nature Medicine found that high blood levels of erythritol were associated with an increased risk of serious cardiovascular events. But to be clear, the study did not prove that erythritol was the direct cause. Even the American Heart Association has weighed in, stating that more research is needed before drawing any firm conclusions. Truth number 2. Can erythritol make your blood clot more easily? One of the biggest concerns right now is whether erythritol can cause blood clots to form faster than usual. That's a key factor behind heart attack, stroke, and even sudden death, especially in people at risk for heart disease. In a study published in Nature Medicine, scientists administered 30 grams of erythritol to 8 healthy volunteers. That's about the same amount found in 1 serving of keto ice cream or a few sugar-free protein bars. The result was striking. Their blood levels of erythritol spiked over 1,000 times and stayed elevated for 2 to 3 days. What's troubling is that this level of increase crosses the threshold that activates platelet aggregation. That's the first step in forming a blood clot. The researchers also ran tests in the lab and on animals. What they found was this: when erythritol is present, platelets become stickier and more likely to clump together. This shortens the time it takes for a clot to form. If this process happens in the arteries that supply the heart or brain, it could trigger a heart attack or a stroke. Still, the American Heart Association stresses that this research is in its early stages. It doesn't prove erythritol is harmful to the average person. However, it does raise serious concerns for people with existing cardiovascular disease, type 2 diabetes, or metabolic syndrome. Truth number 3. Was erythritol once seen as heart-friendly? Erythritol has gained a reputation as a healthier sweetener due to several standout benefits. It has virtually no calories, doesn't affect blood sugar, and doesn't cause cavities. Unlike other sugar alcohols such as xylitol or sorbitol, it doesn't lead to bloating or digestive issues. That made it a top choice for people on a diet, those with type 2 diabetes, or anyone following keto or low-carb lifestyles. Some earlier studies have even suggested that erythritol may have antioxidant benefits, reduce inflammation, and help improve endothelial function, all of which are important for maintaining heart health. One study in mice found that erythritol could lower fatty liver, improve insulin resistance, and help reduce weight gain in animals fed a high-fat diet. But the truth is not so simple. While erythritol may have shown positive effects in lab settings, the doses used in those studies were much lower than what people are consuming today, especially those who regularly eat sugar-free ice cream cakes, sodas, or energy drinks that contain erythritol. And it's at higher doses, especially over 30 grams a day, that erythritol starts to show a connection to blood clot formation, heart attack, and stroke. That raises a big question. Could something once seen as supportive of cardiovascular health pose serious risks when consumed in excess? Truth number 4. How much erythritol is too much? Most people have no idea how much erythritol they're consuming each day. However, the truth is that dosage makes all the difference between potential benefits and serious risks. According to the United States Food and Drug Administration, the average American consumes around 13 grams of erythritol per day. That amount is considered relatively safe. However, a study published in Nature Medicine found that just over 30 grams a day, approximately the amount in a single keto ice cream tub or a few sugar-free candy bars, can cause blood levels of erythritol to spike more than 1,000 times above normal. Even more alarming, these elevated levels can persist for up to 48 to 72 hours. Here's where it gets concerning. Many people following keto, low-sugar, or type 2 diabetes diets consume products with erythritol throughout the day. From sweetened teas and protein bars to sugar-free sodas and desserts, the total daily intake can add up quickly, often without them realizing they've exceeded the safe limit. So the real question isn't whether erythritol is good or bad. The question is, are you unknowingly consuming that much every single day? Truth number 5. So what should you do? If you're feeling a little uneasy after hearing all these warnings about erythritol, take a breath. There's no need to panic, but it's essential to understand what's happening and take control. If you're generally healthy, with no heart disease, high blood pressure, type 2 diabetes, or metabolic syndrome, and you use erythritol in small amounts under 15 grams per day, there's currently no solid evidence showing you're at serious risk. But if you're managing cardiovascular disease, hypertension, type 2 diabetes, or following a keto diet packed with sugar-free products, it's wise to cut back on erythritol. You may want to consider switching to safer alternatives. Here are some better options to consider. Pure monk fruit extract. Real honey in small amounts. Whole fruits which contain natural fiber that slows sugar absorption. More importantly, start reading food labels closely. Erythritol is often listed under names such as natural sweeteners, sugar alcohols, or proprietary blends. It's not always clearly listed, so staying informed is key. Erythritol, friend or foe? Nothing is entirely good or bad, and that applies to erythritol as well. In a world where type 2 diabetes, heart disease, and obesity are on the rise, cutting back on refined sugar is a step in the right direction. But when we replace it with sugar substitutes without fully understanding the risks, the solution can sometimes become a problem. Recent research doesn't prove that erythritol causes heart attack or stroke, but the findings are strong enough to raise questions among experts and to remind consumers to stay informed. Keep in mind that heart health doesn't come from eliminating one single ingredient. It stems from balance in your lifestyle, diet, and daily habits. As a doctor, I'm not here to tell you to live in fear. I want you to live with understanding. This video brought you one step closer to that.